There you go.
Yo, once again, it's your friend Rico in the game, and I'm here with Nico. Always a pleasure. We back in. Yes, sir. How you feeling, man?
I've been feeling real tired today, man.
Oh, you been feeling real tired,
I've been
man?
feeling a little tired, but it's cool. We're handling the issues. It's working out. Work is good. We alive.
We are alive. All right. So Nico came with a hot topic today. Actually, a really good topic. That I think is especially right now with with so many things with gas prices and production prices and all that. Can money buy happiness? Is that right? That's how we want to put that in context? Can money buy happiness?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come
Can
on,
money?
yeah. Like,
Woo, can money buy happiness? Man, I could break this one down all the way down. But since I
would
since
you
I
rather cry in a Lambo?
but I'd rather cry in a Lambo, man, I'd rather boohoo in a Bugatti, man, if I can. But okay, can money buy happiness? Let's talk about staving off sadness, but can money buy happiness? You want to run with that, or you want me to go first?
Well, I mean, can money buy happiness? I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like people have the wrong idea of like money and what it is and what it
Mm-hmm.
means and what it does. Like
Hold on, let's pull back.
money is just a tool.
Tool. Well, let's pull back. Nico, can you buy happiness with money?
Not directly.
Not directly. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I can sell sadness. That's the goddamn title.
You can sell sadness.
You can sell sadness. You can give it away.
Okay, you can give it
You can
away.
get rid of it.
You can get rid of it. Fair. Okay. All right. But you don't feel that you can't buy happiness directly. Okay. So give me examples. Like what examples would you say of buying or using currency to access happiness or to get happiness indirectly? Examples.
So yeah, I mean, hypothetically speaking, saying that money does buy happiness, what I would use for the money. All right.
Your phone's slippery, bro.
Sorry, everybody. The phone's slippery, but it's still the damn iPhone 13 Pro. So money bought this iPhone 13 Pro. So what I use with it is ways to improve myself, learn, distract myself in healthy ways. Some of the things you can use to buy happiness is, say, if you have a lot of money, you can help out those who are close to you and who've done a lot to you, and by making them happy, getting some weight off their shoulders, or by, I don't know, say, giving them a well-deserved vacation. That's kind of buying me happiness in a way.
Okay. All right. So some philanthropic enterprises. All right. I'm going to bust this up real quick, and then you can come back to it. Do I believe you can buy happiness? Fairly, yeah, you can't buy happiness directly, but money makes things a lot easier. Money gives you access to comforts that can allow you to cultivate happiness with a lot less resistance. I'll tell you right now, because I look at the Powerball all the time. I don't believe in gambling and buying lottery tickets all the time, but 100 mil plus to bring you into wealth, or to do something that will bring you into wealth, whether it's investing, Bitcoin, entrepreneurship, something that will bring you more currency than working can do, multiple streams of income, or basically finding a way to maximize your production or maximize your income earning potential. Once you have enough capital, you can do things that the lack of capital can't do. You can stave off so many hardships. You can stave off threats of not being able to keep a roof over your head, utilities, health, access to medicine. You can, with money, you can get the quality of food that you want to buy without shouldering too much of a burdensome cost. You can live where you want to live. You can travel easier and go where you want to go. You can live a freer and more fulfilling life in respect of what money can give you access to. Now, money doesn't give you skills. Money doesn't teach you anything. Money doesn't actually bring you happiness. Money doesn't give you time. Money does not give you time. Money does actually not give you health. So there's a lot of things that money cannot bring, because you can have all the money in the world, but if you have poor health, that money's not going to do anything for you. Poor mentals, poor physicals, poor spirituals. Money can't do anything for you, but it can better your station to hopefully improve those things. But I tell you one thing, man, bro, some aspects about money, or my circle would be a lot smaller. I would do things more broad for those who don't have direct connection to me. Yes, you could be more philanthropic. You could donate more to charity and do more in that regard. That separation of doing well with your money, that can bring you some type of happiness. You can do more for family and friends and yada yada and all that. That's cool. But I know one thing about money. Money attracts a lot of the wrong attention. Having a lot of money attracts the wrong attention, and a lot of times in this world, the path of getting certain levels of money, man, you got to do questionable things in some cases. Not a lot of money ain't clean money. So there's also a moral dilemma in regards to how you get your money, how you go about getting your money. That will make a lot of people, they could be rich, but they're unhappy because of the things they had to do and the things that the person they became to become rich, who they had to lose and whatnot. There's a lot of sacrifices that come with that. If you watch the movie Wall Street, you'll see how what sacrifices that people made, especially with family, getting money. But like you said, man, I'd rather boohoo tears in a Bugatti, man. Like if I could, but not sacrifice so much of myself and my life to do so, because there's gotta be some balance. But you want to drop me 100 mil, I know what to do with it to a certain regard. But yeah, you can't directly buy happiness, but you can. It's a lot easier to find happiness when you don't have a lot of stresses that come with finances, or the lack of finances, lack of capital. If you don't have to worry about those things, it's a lot easier to find that happiness bug, man. I can just clearly tell you that.
Absolutely. And the reason I think that is possible for someone to like be unhappy or unsatisfied with huge sums of money is that in my opinion, the way I see it is the reason to explain that is that money isn't something that comes natural for human beings. As a species, money is not an actual thing that we can relate to or that we can understand. So meaning, just for example, what we need as human beings is, say, for example, things like breathing, having healthy relationships with your family, not being worried about, is my house gonna get robbed? Is this gonna happen? There are more human things, like happy moments with your family, like for example, like with my brother who is little. Like those are naturally more human things. Like we're kind of in those are things that are installed to us. So the pursuit of money is a thing that is like you're speaking one language and you're being talked to in another language. Like it's something that's not compatible with who you are. So that's why a lot of people, they're in this pursuit of money and getting all this money and blah blah blah, and spending money in like Lambos and like extra stuff and like nights at the club, and it doesn't fulfill them because money cannot fulfill you because you're a human. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's kind of a way that I see why money is not important to you as a simple human being. Now, as a member of society, especially capitalist societies, which is most countries, you do need money for the basic human needs. Like you pay money to buy water, and that is a human need. If you don't have a job and you're in all this debt and your kids aren't eating, you're gonna lose sleep, and that's a human need. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
You need money to buy food. So that's kind of, I just kind of wanted to explain why some people get surprised that a lot of people have a lot of money, but they're just unsatisfied. That's number one. And number two, it's also because of something called the Hedonic Treadmill. Have you heard of it before?
No.
So it's a concept that says that us as human beings, since we adapt and we go through evolution and all of that, you're here in life, right? Say for example, you're making 50K a year, and then you get a promotion, and then you make 200K a year, right? So here you thought you were sad or unfulfilled. Now you jump to 200,000, and now you're all happy, but that goes away because now you're used to it. So
Mm.
now that becomes your new normal.
Yeah,
So
because you know,
now when
okay.
you're out here, you feel exactly the same because of when you're here.
Yeah.
So it's about that also. It's about being adapted to it. If you make $100 million a year, and then in the next 5 years you still make $100 million a year, you feel the same. Because yes, it is a lot of money in comparison to most people.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're there and you're there your whole life, I mean, that's how you feel. I mean, a lot of people who immigrate from like our countries, they come here and then you kind of adapt, and now the little first world problems, like, are problems that bother us. But in Colombia, like, you'll be all set. Like, that was a great day. Does that
Mm-hmm.
make sense? So
That
that's
makes
just
sense.
a way to
Yeah,
put it.
nah, that makes sense. I would say that the idea, because we do want to talk on that about being from a third world country coming here. I think those our parents, and people from our age right now who come from a third world country, they come from a society that doesn't have, say, the social program safety nets like, say, in America. They're built and conditioned a lot differently. So when they do come here to America, they thrive because they're in a place from where they never had this. So they take full advantage of it because it's there and it's offered. America land of opportunity. Whereas people here in America are used to it. They're acclimated to it. So they don't go as hard because they've always had it at their disposal. So when you're here, you're not struggling to be in America and take the full advantage of it because you're used to everything that's here. Where someone comes from somewhere else isn't used to it, so when they get here, it's crisp, it's beautiful, and they go hard for that. You're right. When people, like, say, when you get a promotion at your job, especially when it's like incremental, like you start making you're making another $5,000 a year or something like that. Yeah, you might feel that little bump in your paycheck, but if you're living at your means, like right at the edge of your means, it might be fun. You might have a couple of extra bucks to do this. You have a busted spare tire or whatever. But if you start living at your means, like you said, you get used to it. You get acclimated. If you get a big bump in your pay, you buy the bigger house. Well, now you got a bigger mortgage payment. You buy the more flashier car, but you got a bigger car payment. You do these things. You start living a different lifestyle that puts you at that threshold. And if you're not more, if you're not more mindful of it, you're not saving or putting that money away or doing different, moving differently with it, then you don't have that little nest egg to look at if that's not your ambition, to where you'd be like, oh, I'm really working towards something else. Or like I say, you had a business or some other enterprise where you can kind of be fulfilled from doing that or do some other activity other than just nuances of a new lifestyle. So, and then there is that, man, like I said, kids who are born into wealth don't know what it is really to earn money unless their parents, instill that in them in that regard. But if they're used to money, then they don't really know hardship, but they know human problems. They know sadness. They know sorrow. They know hardship from a mental and emotional standpoint. They might not know. They just might not know financial hardships. And who's to say? Because there's been plenty of rich people who are always teetering on bankruptcy, who are always jumping from place to place, trying to outrun this and outrun that, banks and collections and all of that. On paper, they're millionaires. But if you really look at their disposable income or whatever liquid cash they have, they're broke. They're living paycheck to paycheck, or they're living on credit. So it's not even always looking at who we think is rich, because what we see might not really be what's behind the veil. So they're and that stress, financially stressed out. Like, I couldn't imagine being millions of dollars in debt, playing that high stakes game and being millions of dollars in debt, having the bank come after you, having the government come after you, having the trade commission coming after you, having employees and people, your business partners coming after you because you've tried to live a lavish life. You made some mistakes, you whatever. And now you got millions of dollars worth of stress. That's a whole different ball game. And I deal on the other spectrum with people who are homeless, who have literally nothing to speak of, and they're going through those traumas. So I think relatively when it comes to money, there's got to be balance, man. There's got to be balance. Like you said, it's a tool, and you should use that tool to build a secure structure, build a secure life. And it can, like I said, it can build that patio. It can build that deck that you can really enjoy yourself in life. But it should never be something you should always be pursuing or allowing its acquisition to control you, or the things that you acquire with it to control you, to validate your life. You got to be the rich person. You got to be the wealthy person. You just can't be a person who is a individual who is wealthy. You have to be, you can't be a rich guy. You have to be a man who is rich. You have to be a fulfilled man or fulfilled woman who is rich, who is also rich and not just in finance, but rich in many things, a rich life, rich relationship with family, rich relationship with their health, all those things to really balance out. You can really maximize the use of your money. But like I said, if you're failing in those other areas, money can't really do much for you, man.
No, absolutely. And it might sound cliche, but people don't like to hear it, but it's true. Like happiness does come from within. It comes from purpose and from having a good relationship, especially with yourself and with your own state of mind. Yeah. So if there's nothing wrong with trying to get a lot of money if there's a clear mindset behind it. So like for example, I feel like that's what I'm on, and I don't just think about I want to have this $2 million home in Harbor Island and buy all these cars and go on all these trips. Like, no, I just want to be free and get out of the rat race, and be fulfilled. Because I hate like when you have plans or you want to do something and you're like, oh, I have work tomorrow, or somebody else says that. It's like no. So there's nothing wrong with trying to achieve money, if as long as you're not damaging healthy relationships or things that benefit you in the long run for it. I mean, it's fine. I mean, you should always get rid of toxic people, but there's nothing wrong with having a lot of money or trying to have a lot of money if you have good intentions behind it, because that's what it is. It's a weapon. You just have a lot of skill in the financial sense. So you can do a lot of things. So, you can spend it on drugs, you can spend it on trips, you can spend it on designer clothes, opening a couple of charities. I mean, it's just whatever you choose, helping people in debt, just going around doing good things, of course, spoiling yourself here and there. But I mean, it doesn't buy happiness, but it can take away a lot of things that can take away from your happiness. What money can get is great psychologists, great therapists. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't directly buy happiness with it, but it can help put you there. Does that make sense? So money won't push you to be good or bad or this or that. It just amplifies who you already are.
True. Absolutely. I can't say anything more than that, man. It's just money is it is the vessel, it's the tool, it's the transportation to getting to certain things. So I feel we both agreed on that, to where money itself can't buy happiness. I have seen where they said if you can you buy happiness? It's like, sure you can buy happiness. You just got to shop in the right store. I've seen people say things like that, and I guess it depends on what part in life and where you are in life, where are you shopping? Where are you investing your money? Because you're making money is a lot of times of where your time is. And the worst thing I would always say for me, if I made a lot of money or was in the pursuit of making money, I wouldn't want money to take me away from the things that I'm trying to get money to be close to. I want to make money so I can spend time with my family. Now, I'll be trying to make money and can't spend time with my family. There's that got to be that balanced equilibrium. And I know for me personally, I know that for a lot of the money I spent to be where I am, to have the relationship, I can tell you to the penny what it cost me to be a father. Like the pursuit of trying to be a father, the investment I put in to fight to be a father, on top of being the cost of being a father. I know that even though it would financially set me back significantly, I would pay triple the amount to get back the memories that I wasn't able to get, to go back and have the time that I can't get back, the things that I would pay money to have moments that I can't go back and get, time I can't go back and get. And to think about that, no amount of money can bring back things, can restore things, can bring people back, can bring memories back. It just can't bring moments back, things like that. And those are things that are beyond money that I look like, man, no matter how much money I have, you can't go back and capture those things. But that's why I utilize a lot of money now to make sure I have those memories. I have that relationship. I have that effort because it's a valiant effort. So money is important because money sometimes is the only way you can get to places where you need to be. But yeah,
But
Nico,
remember,
man.
in some countries, like, yeah, money is
Yeah,
important, but it's not like the main thing.
yeah.
Like, I went to the Netherlands a couple of years ago, and I don't know what they call themselves, but money isn't like the huge thing. Like, if you don't have money, like, it's not like you're gonna be living in the streets, kind of thing.
Mm,
I I don't know what their political model is or whatever, and it doesn't really matter. But it's just most countries are like heavy capitalists. So it's not that it's what I'm trying to say is it's not that money is what you need in life 100%. I mean, yeah, you do need it because of where you were born and where you live. But in some places, it's not as big of a deal. It's still important, of course, but it's not the main thing you need to just survive as a human being.
indeed, indeed. And I think that might be one of the better things about other countries or third world countries, where it can seem harsher, especially like since they don't maybe have first world access, especially like medical attention, say certain technologies, things of that nature, power, electricity, plumbing, and things like that. And those are factors, but there's things that when I go back to Jamaica, there's things about Jamaica that I love because the island's just so natural. There's food growing everywhere. There's natural hospitality. Yes, money is important. It does help the country, maintain and balance itself, but you're not going to starve. You're not going to be truly destitute and homeless in the street, and there's no social programs there like that, but there's always going to be some flour, some oil. There's always going to be some salt. There's always going to be fruit. There's always going to be somewhere to get you by, to get you fed. There's always going to be some work for you to help out, and you can live a fulfilling and decent life, and not have a whole lot, but still be very comfortable and enterprising every day. But it doesn't have the rat race that America has. And America, there's thousands, if not millions, of homeless men, women, and children. There's people starving. Foreclosures and homelessness and evictions, and that's just what we've accepted because you don't have money, your credit is bad, you can't afford this, you can't afford to live here, and that's just, and I guess that's the part where you said where it's not about buying happiness. It's just like, can you afford to get out of detrimental sadness? Can you afford getting out of can you afford to stay
Life
out of
itself.
threat? Yeah. Can you afford to live? Can you afford to live? And that's a question we got to ask ourselves when we talk about, living in a first world country with this capitalistic country, because it's like, it's dog eat dog, man. It's if you can one snap and you could be destitute. I've seen it. I've been there. And it's just like, do you translate that to somewhere simpler? But you might not have that big mansion on the hill. You might not have all those cars. You might not be that person. Or do you sell drugs? Or do you do other means to enterprise that might get you penitentiary time? So it's crazy the things we do for money, but we do need money here in America to even survive. It's one of those things, man. Somebody got to pay the cost. Somebody got to pay the bill.
Because it's got to be, if okay, like, I want to be happy, I want to be calm, I want to have a better relationship with myself, with whoever spouse, with my family, with my friends, and I can recognize that a big part of that is through money, because we'll be out of debt, we won't have this job who treats us so bad every single day,
Mm-hmm.
who takes time away from our family,
Yeah.
and then by doing that, I'll get all these things. I feel like that's the right path. It's not from A being now to B money. It should be from A being now to B money, and
Mm-hmm.
then to C, which is the final destination, is just having good experiences and a good time on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a bunch of money and you use it just on buying Lambos and dimensions and this and that,
Mm-hmm.
like, a lot of people just don't think, hey, with money I could spend more time with my kids.
Yeah.
Maybe I was working so much, now my kids are grown and we don't have a good relationship. I wish I had money so that wouldn't have been the case. But that's not really people's thoughts all the time. They're just saying, "Oh, a lot of money and a lot of money," and that's it. So that's like the end goal. But that end goal doesn't resonate with you because you're a human and all of those things that we said. Money just doesn't come natural to us.
Yeah.
We don't. I feel like we just can't appreciate it and value it really because it just doesn't speak to us. It's not a part of us.
Yeah.
Does that kind of make sense?
Doesn't speak to most of us, but it does speak to some people. The Warren Buffetts and the Bezos of the world, who in the Elon Musk.
That guy, Richard, it's Bezos, not Bezos.
Did I say Bezos? Is Bezos?
Bezos.
Okay, Bezos. All right. Yeah, I think understanding money. They understand money. I don't even say they understand money. I think they understand what they want to do in their ambition, and they're willing to take all the risks to get there. I don't know what sacrifices they're making or what things they are sacrificing from others, but like when I look at Elon Musk, I'm just kind of surprised. Like, yo, this dude is a spectrum. He pushes the envelope. He's literally trying to create technologies that were literally like space age, and he's doing that stuff now. And it's like that level of ambition, that level of unwarranted and unapologetic ambition that transcends money. He has a lot of money to be able to do it, but man, he's not Scrooge McDuck, man. He's literally like, look, I'm trying to go to space on my own. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. Make the flying cars that we talked about. He wants to realize things. He wants to make things real, and he's got a great business model and everything around him to make a lot of money to make that possible. And he ain't the richest entity in the world. There's governments way richer than him. And there's individuals and families that are way richer than him that have had this money for centuries, and they haven't done that. So to him, he's a little bit controversial, and some of the world's richest people are controversial, and that's a whole different circle about some of the things they've had to do to get money. But hey, man, I look at it like, look, you handle the type of money, and I look at like when people get to that kind of money and they start making different decisions. They step away, and it's like, you know what? I'm going to liquidate my assets and give the billions and billions of dollars that I can't possibly spend back out to charity or back out to medical research or research in that regard. Stuff like that, man. I look at it like, you know what? They got more money than anybody can spend. They can solve a lot of problems, but socially, do we really want all those problems solved, man? But that's a whole nother question in itself.
That's a whole nother question too. So what would you guys do at home? Will you spend $100 million on a bunch of Bugattis? Will you give it all away, half of it away, maybe buy a couple Lambos and then give the rest away? Would you pay for the Facebook ads to share this video? Would you do that?
Would you do that?
There's many things you can use $100 million for. You can do good things, bad things. You can pay people to share this video also so they can watch us. I mean, what do you guys think? Does money buy happiness? Leave a comment down below. Like the video. Share it to everybody and turn on the notification bell, and we'll be with you. Shadow, you have a good day, buddy.
Yes, sir, Nico. Appreciate it always, man.